Hey folks, Anthony Speciale here with Hawkeye Traders. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Before we jump into today's opportunity and example, we're just going to take a quick second, look over this disclaimer. Anything we discuss is for information and educational purposes only. Please do not take anything as live trading or financial advice, as it is certainly not. So, of course, what's always making the hot headlines, especially recently, Bitcoin. So I want to take a look at Bitcoin. The reason I want to circle back to this is, our members here at Hawkeye, we were in our weekly live training session, and they kind of asked me, like, hey, listen, where do you think this is stalling? Where do you think it's going? So I just gave them my perspective of how I would use our indicators to read the market, and I'm going to do the same for you right now. So we see that there was a very clear, abrupt sell-off here. We were at about 65,000, just short of that, when it basically cut in half to about 30, and now it's been staggering in this area. Now, if you see the first blue arrow there, you could see where there was an area of what we call accumulation or congestion, and that took place over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Price stayed within that area before it distributed or accelerated or trend continued out of it. And that right there is typically a very good sign that that's where price will be halting. So as this was selling off several weeks ago, and they asked me, where do you think price is going to stop? I said, that previous area of accumulation is likely what's going to hold the price. And you can see the second arrow, the one further to the right, that's pretty much what happened. Price fell right into that pocket of prior accumulation, and it is really now held there for 1, 2, 3 full weeks. And we're going to see where it goes from there. I'm not saying it can't go below this and break below it. I'm not saying it can't retrace and go higher again. But what I am saying is this area is firmly holding this price from really moving any further lower. So this may be a point that it rallies from. This may be a point that it breaks down from. But having the indicators to understand what is happening, why it's happening, gives you the insight to know if you're long Bitcoin, where you were depending on where you were long Bitcoin, where you may want to place your stop. And if you were short Bitcoin, where you may want to take your profits. So having these tools and understanding the way the market works is really, really, really valuable. So what you see, those boxes or rectangles that extend across on the weekly and monthly charts, are what we call our Hawkeye zones. These zones are based off of supply and demand, or support and resistance, whichever terms you prefer to use. But that's basically how these work. They auto-populate on the chart. And listen, this one firmly on the weekly chart told us pretty much exactly where to expect price to hold when it sold off. And that's exactly what it did. It did exactly what it's supposed to do. So if you'd like, guys, this is a very, if you're already a Hawkeye user and you don't have the zones, listen, the zones are very, very, very powerful, especially if you're trading on bigger picture time frames and even on intraday time frames. If I'm day trading, I want to know where my 60-minute zones are. If I'm swing trading, I want to know where my daily zones are. If I'm position trading, I want to know where my weekly and monthly zones are. So they become very valuable to a trade plan, and I just want to show you how I utilize them and how you can utilize them as well. Work hard in silence. Let your success be the noise. And guys, really, nobody needs to go around and tell other people what you've done, what you've accomplished. Just be humble, be a human, be compassionate. Trust me, other people will gravitate towards you because they like the person that you are, not because of what you have. And that's really what this comes down to. Just because you drive a fancy car or wear a fancy watch or whatever, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're any more successful than the person who didn't. Being humble, being grateful, being compassionate is very, very rewarding, not only for yourself, but for those around you. And that's what I encourage you to do. I encourage you to be a humble, compassionate person. It's good for yourself. It's good for your soul. It's good for the people who surround you. It's good for your family. It's good for your future. Listen, work hard, but just be humble. And it's just a very, very enriching way of life. And it's something that I can just strongly and personally recommend for you. Now, guys, if you'd like to learn more how you can identify these opportunities that I share with you today all on your own, whether it be in Bitcoin or the stock market or the futures market or commodity market, there's a link below this video. In this link, you're gonna once you click on it, it's gonna take you to the Project vStorm webinar. In this webinar, I'm gonna show you example after example, basically of how this transpires for you, and how you'll have the ability to do the same and take advantage. If you want to learn more about our indicators, please visit us at HawkeyeTraders.com. We have a great segment on the Hawkeye zones, which you may want to watch a video on, just so you have a better understanding of the power that they bring to your trade plan. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, please always feel free to reach out to us. Our support staff is always standing by to help answer any questions or concerns that you may have. And with that, I wish you a beautiful and blessed day. Myself, my staff, everyone here at Hawkeye looks forward to working with you. Take care and stay well.